My name is Eliot Jurries. I'm from Sherburne, Minnesota, and I've wrestled my whole life, wrestled a year in college, and then that's when I got into fighting. I wrestled at MSU Mankato. What got me into MMA was when I quit wrestling halfway through my first year. There was a wrestling club in Mankato, and I had to walk by every day. And those guys invited me in there, and that's kind of where it took off. Those guys that I used to train with are Dan Moret, who fights in the UFC now, John Castaneda, who's fighting for Combat Americas, Sean McPadden, who's fighting for LFA right now as a professional. At that time when I was training with those guys, everyone was kind of amateurs, and then everyone, when they got serious about everything, they'd take off and go to like the academy or McCoon's up in the cities. Then everyone went their separate way. But back then it was just no coach. Just come in and spar every single day. Yeah, so what got me out here in Sioux Falls was everyone started going their separate way and going elsewhere, and I was just back home in Sherburne, and I just came out to Sioux Falls, found this gym, and everything kind of took off. The difference between training there is there's really no coach or curriculum. They just kind of come in and drill every day. And here there's a coach, there's a family atmosphere. I love it here. My next upcoming fight is Ricky Ortiz. I actually trained with a couple guys who have fought against him. He's a wrestler. Other than that, I don't know much about him. I think the difference between fighting in Minnesota and here is I feel like I'm fighting at home when I'm fighting here. And I feel like I'll be used to the atmosphere a lot more comfortable. I can see my fight going. I'm just going to come out and I'm going to do what I'm comfortable doing, rely on my wrestling more, but I'm not afraid to stand up either. My favorite part of training right now is just enjoying the most of it, just not taking it for granted. I like to travel outside of the gym if I'm not training. I want to travel as much as possible in life. No, I've never even been out of the country. India, Thailand, there's a lot of places I want to go. The difference between wrestling and MMA is, I think wrestling is a lot harder day to day, the grinding and the cutting weight, and it just feels like it never ends. MMA is kind of more on your own time. You get to fight whenever you want to fight. 4 times a year isn't very many fights, but it seems like a lot. Yeah, for sure. I feel like the more competition you get, the more difference you see in how much you're improving. The biggest changes I've made in my training are trying to rely more on my grappling, what I'm most comfortable doing. Not always being worried about putting on the knockout show and all that buzz. People should expect me to be a lot more comfortable on the ground and rely on my wrestling a lot more. No, I'm excited to compete. I feel like for the first time it's like a team thing. Like I feel like we got a dual wrestling team going out there. Like a guy at every weight. I'm excited for that. That makes it a lot more or less nerve-wracking. Yeah, I actually work with HD Detailing, and that whole company is awesome. They help me work with my training. I can leave and go to practice whenever I need to leave and go to practice. David over there is awesome. Big shout out to David. Yeah, Big Sioux Construction. I've worked with them in the summer and helped them frame. Dave Duffy's an awesome guy. I just want to thank my family for always being the support system I need, all my teammates, my awesome training partners here in Sioux Falls.